Didn't I just record this video? It feels like that. Anyway, October wrap up. G'day to all you lovely people and welcome back to my channel. I'm Kathy and today I'm going to tell you what I got up to in October. Even though it feels like I just did a wrap up not that long ago. Okay, October. I drowned because it rained so much. Seriously, it was crazy how much rain we had. Melbourne is not known for that much rain, and yet it has been raining almost non-stop. We had a couple of nice days where it teased us to all think that, we might be getting into real spring, almost summer weather, and then for the last 2 weeks, it has been non-stop rain. And can you see today is sunny? Yeah, it's trying to make a liar of me, but believe me, it has not stopped raining. I'm going to give you a little clip of what it was like just a couple of days ago. Pouring. And as you can see, not even just a light rain, but really heavy rains. I think it was the week before October finished, they were already saying we were breaking records. What a surprise. The truth is though, we're also getting a lot of flooding. We even have flooding in Melbourne, which is almost unheard of. Very, very rare. And yet people in the suburbs were actually flooded out of their homes. It's just been horrible. Yeah, you complain that sometimes we don't get enough rain because we are known to get droughts as well, and then you get way too much. So who knows what summer is going to bring. I'm hoping it won't bring bushfires as well. But the rain has really been dominant in so many conversations I've had with people because we are all tired of it. The plants love it though, because not only are they getting lots of rain, the humidity has been so high. I haven't needed to turn my humidifier on in weeks because it's been getting to 65% and higher. I have hygrometers everywhere around my home so I can see what the humidity is like, and I'm like, this is like summer weather. This isn't Melbourne weather, but there you go. So yeah, like I said, it has kind of dominated this last month. As to what I got up to, well, I have been stuck inside because it has been raining so much. I have not been able to go to the Botanic Gardens still because every single weekend it has been pouring. I don't mind being inside when it rains and we have thunderstorms. I really love it. But you want it to stop occasionally so you can go out and about. The few times I have been out, I've been rained on. Yeah, a little too much rain if you ask me. And despite my bitching and moaning about it, it has not changed to nice weather yet. Anyway, what have I been up to? It's been a very dull month, I would say. Most likely because it has been raining so much. I haven't really gotten up to all that much except the usual things. I'm still crazy obsessed with my word puzzle game, but my shoulders are complaining because I'm playing way too much. So I think I'm going to have to slow down a little, but I still enjoy it. And until I stop, I will continue playing it, I guess. The drama has stopped, hallelujah. Yeah, I don't miss the drama at all. It's now a much nicer team because people are just not bitching about others like they were. So that's a good thing, I guess. I have been buying plants because, I definitely have spring fever quite badly actually. And I've been buying more indoor plants for a change. But I think I'm about done. Yeah, don't take that as gospel because knowing me, if I see a plant I like, I might bring it home anyway. But I'm kind of happy with how many I've got right now. I know I haven't brought out that video showing you all the plants, but I will very soon actually. I just haven't had a chance to record it yet because it's been raining so much. Yeah, it's been difficult to record anything. Oh, and I did buy a few new books. Yeah. Yeah, I had 1 month where I didn't buy any, but hey, that's an improvement on the previous months, right? And I did want to ask you guys, do you like book hauls? Do you want to see also my secondhand books that I bought? Because I did buy quite a large amount of secondhand books over the months. Or do you just want to see the new books that I bought? Let me know down in the comments either way. Still, I'm certainly not buying like I used to. There were a few books I did want, so I thought, fine, I'll spoil myself and get just a few anyway. Or 10. Okay, maybe that's not a few. For me it is, but anyway. I have still not been able to do anything about getting my bookshelf made. And that's been frustrating me, but hopefully I'll get some free time to do it because it seems I just haven't had much free time. I don't even know where my days go. I seriously wake up and it feels like it's already time to go to bed, and it's like, hang on, what did I do all day? And yet I'm not a person who just sits and veges in front of the TV. I'm usually doing something. So I guess I'm doing something. Yeah, I guess I have been doing a lot of ebook stuff still. I haven't progressed very far. I'm still on D. Oh my God, that's so sad. But that's okay. It's been keeping me very busy during these rain-soaked days. But other than that, I really don't know where my month's gone. Yeah, it just seems to have vanished in smoke. That's what happens when you get older. Time seems to march so much faster. Before you know it, the month's gone. And it's like, but what happened during that month? What did I do? Perhaps that is also the routine of life, right? Yeah, you get up, you do your usual thing, and then it's the next day, and then the next, and the next. Time just flies. Yeah, there's a reason for the saying. It's because it's true, especially as you get older. So strange, isn't it? When you're young, you're like, when will I get older? When will I get older? And when you're older, it's like, oh, slow down, slow down. Yeah, I don't like the years marching by so fast. Strange, isn't it? The irony of life, I guess. Okay, so what have I been watching? Supernatural. Yeah, I finished season 9, but I have not really been watching all that much because I have not been knitting. No, in fact, I just started knitting yesterday actually because I just have not been in the mood. Yeah, I had to pick up the stitches for the sleeve and it's got colours on it and I was like, oh, I just can't be bothered. But last night I got into the mood, and now that it's on the needles, I will probably end up finishing it by next month, but who knows? And because I haven't been knitting, I haven't really watched all that much except for a bit of Supernatural. Yeah, I am really not watching much at all, and yet I'm starting to get the itch. I'm starting to get the itch to watch movies again. I have not watched many movies for months now, so I think I might be doing that in the next little while. I guess we will see, or you guys will find out next month. So let's talk about then what I've been reading. It was definitely a much, much better reading month, this last one, than September. I really struggled in September to figure out what to read. I read several things that I really hated, but last month was much, much better. Yeah. I read 3 more Agatha Christie books, Hercule Poirot ones. I read Hickory Dickory Dock, Dead Man's Folly, and Cat Among the Pigeons. These are some of the later ones because I think I've only got 4, maybe 5 left. And some I didn't like. Now, I can't recall which one it was, but one of them, Poirot was only in it for like the last 40 pages, and I thought, that is not why I wanted to read this. I wanted him to be a major part of this investigation. So that was a little disappointing. And it wasn't just one book. I think there was another one where he didn't play a major role again. Doesn't matter. I still really enjoyed the mysteries. I just wanted more Poirot. And after that, I read 2 Terry Pratchett Discworld books. I read Reaper Man with Death. Oh, how much do I love Death. I'm not going to give away the plot, but it was hilarious. Yeah, it really was. He just cracks me up so much. He has this very deadpan humor, Death I mean, and honestly, he is hysterically funny. And then I read Witches Abroad with Granny Weatherwax, who is awesome. Definitely my second favorite character in the Discworld universe. Yeah, I really enjoyed those. I usually only read one, but I so loved Reaper Man that I immediately jumped into Witches Abroad, and it got me in the mood for more Terry Pratchett. So I think I might be reading some this month as well. After that, I read Recursion by Blake Crouch, who wrote Dark Matter, which I just loved so much. I really enjoyed Recursion, but I liked Dark Matter better, perhaps because it was the first book of his that I read. Nevertheless, reading Recursion has confirmed for me that I love his books and I want to read everything of his. So that's good. At least Dark Matter wasn't a one-off. Now, that is not to say that I did not enjoy Recursion, because I did. It was just a different story. It is actually about memory and about false memories. And are we really just the sum of our memories? It had a lot of cool questions about memories and what makes up being an individual, a person. And I did like some of the characters, but in some respects it was also quite sad. And that's all I really want to say, because I don't want to give away any spoilers. But please don't take anything I've said to mean I did not enjoy, because I really did. I read it very quickly, just like the first, because his books seem to be very fast-paced. And his writing is very spare and clean, so it means it's very fast reading. That's what I think anyway. Definitely becoming a favourite author of mine, and I'm looking forward to reading more of his books. In fact, I have one of his that is coming out soon on order, so hopefully I'll get that soon. And then for my classic of the month, I read War of the Worlds by H.G. Wells. I really enjoyed that actually. I have seen the film. I think there's more than one. I've seen them. I know the story very well. And usually I find it hard to read the books after I've seen the film, because I know what's going to happen. But the film is very different. It's modernized. It has been placed in a more contemporary setting, whereas War of the Worlds, the book, I think, came out in 1896. And so it takes place prior to aeroplanes, prior to fighter jets, prior to tanks, prior to cars. The basic premise is that aliens invade Earth, or England anyway, and the struggle of the English to overcome these invaders. But they did not have the kind of weapons that we do today. So I found that really interesting, seeing how these people coped with something like this. I actually really enjoyed this book. In fact, I think I liked it even a little bit more than The Time Machine, which I really enjoyed as well. But that was definitely worth reading. Highly recommended if you haven't read it yet. I have not finished The Master and Margarita. I think because I had put it aside. I wasn't quite in the mood for it, but I'm determined to finish it this month. Can you hear it's just started to rain again? Yeah, what a surprise. Yeah, thanks Melbourne. Anyway, then I read the next 2 Narnia books, Prince of Caspian and Voyage of the Dawn Treader, which I always want to call Trader. I don't know why. Anyway, these are, I think, book 4 and 5 in the series. There's only 2 more to go. I have been enjoying taking time reading these, but once I finished Prince Caspian, I was just in the mood to read the next one. Now, there are films based on these, which unfortunately for me really influenced my reading of them. I could not recall the books from when I was a child. What I recalled as I was reading them were the films, which is why I struggle so hard reading books after I've seen the films or TV shows, because that's all I remember is this visual representation. It takes away my enjoyment of using my own imagination to picture this world. It doesn't mean I didn't enjoy the books, because they are just as charming as the others. They are very easy and quick reads. I thoroughly enjoy the writer's style of writing. He has this hint of irony throughout many of his books. The characters are very sweet, and the adventures that the characters have are really thoroughly entertaining. Overall, I enjoyed them, but unfortunately not as much as I did the earlier ones. I'm looking forward though to reading the last two, because I have a very vague recollection of the final book, and I can't recall the sixth book at all. It might come back to me as I'm reading it. You have to remember, it's been something like, I don't know, 40 odd years since I read this series. Still, something that I think I might finish either this month or next month. I'm not sure yet. And last, I read Dark Force Rising, Book 2 in the Thrawn trilogy by Timothy Zahn. Yeah, I thoroughly enjoyed this book. I think I enjoyed the second one even more than the first, because I'm now more immersed in this world, in the characters, seeing how the characters have changed, because they have changed to some degree. And I'm really enjoying the story because it's just so convoluted. There are so many threads to the plot that I'm struggling to remember exactly what did happen, though I have read this series several times. So in a way, it's actually better for me because it feels fresher, because I can't recall everything that did happen. Though, I don't know if this happens to others. Sometimes when I'm reading, even though prior to starting the book, I can't remember details, as I'm reading it, they will come back to me. Some, not everything, but a lot of them do come back to me. And I enjoyed Dark Force Rising so much that I'm immediately jumping into The Last Command, I think is the final book, in this trilogy anyway. I was intending initially to take a break. I thought that would be better, but I found that because I read other things in between, it took me a little bit of time to get back into this series. And now that I'm in it, I just want to finish it. There is also a duology after this series, which I'm also going to read. I'm just not sure when. Unfortunately, I did not get to start The Magician, but that is something I want to read this month. Actually, it's really hard because there are so many things I want to read. I want to read the Poirot books. I want to read some more Louise Penny. I want to read more of Longmire. I want to read the Asimov robot series. I want to read Stephen King because Fairy Tale, his newest book, I just got the hardcover, so I'm really keen to read it. And usually I save up several of his books so I can read them all together. And I think I have 3 or 4, maybe even more. So I don't know when I'm going to get around to reading what, but I guess you guys will find out next month. So altogether, I read 10 books. Yeah. So not a lot really compared to other months, but that's okay. Anyway, so now let's talk about my plants. Okay, I'll start with the garden, which is looking lush and so happy because they are loving this rain and humidity. I have bought a few things to add to the garden. Can you see the sun's come out again because it stopped raining? It's crazy Melbourne. I tell you what, seriously, 4 seasons in one day. Anyway, so my garden is looking really good. I'm just not getting to spend enough time out on my deck or messing around with things, though I did get to clean out all my hanging baskets and all my pots that sit on my deck because we did have a few days of nice weather and now they're looking a lot better and things are slowly coming back to life. In fact, some plants surprised me. For example, Calibrachoas, I think they're called Million Bells overseas. They have never survived a winter here, but one did. Two didn't, but one did, and is looking gorgeous right now. So it's been an unexpected spring, I guess, when it comes to plants. I did throw all my bulbs into the soil. We didn't really dig them in all that deep, and none of those came up. So I'm not surprised with that. Who knows though? Plants are resilient. They might do better next year. I don't know. Or if not, bad luck. I'm kind of done with bulbs, I think. They're not for me. Too much work for very short reward, if you ask me. But everything else is just really happy. They loved the manure that we put on them, and they're just flushing out so much that I can't wait to see when they're at their peak. So that's the garden. Now let's move on to indoor plants. It's been a better month because really I think this is my plant's favorite time of year. It's not too hot, but it's warm enough and very humid, so they're really enjoying themselves and they're growing really, really well. I did have 2 more deaths, but hey, no more pests. Well, none that I have found so far. So I think all the plants that did have pests have recovered, which I'm very grateful for, because pests are a nightmare. I've said it once, I'll say it 1,000 times. I hate getting pests. Everyone does, I think, who has plants. Unfortunately, my Sansevieria or Dracaena Lotus Hanai, really beautiful, who did very well for me indoors. It got some water, I think, in the middle of the leaves, which is, something that I find with many succulents they hate because then they rot. So I put it outside to dry it out, under cover where it doesn't get rained on, and it died. So I lopped it. I cut off the top and I'm going to propagate that. I haven't put that in soil yet, but soon. But she looks really sad. And I'm really upset actually because I love Sansevierians because they're so easy and they need so little water. And the second one just died the other day. Unfortunately, the same thing happened. My Haworthia Spiderwhite. Normally I water it, but unfortunately my carer watered it once, got some water in the middle of the leaves, not her fault, and it rotted and has just fallen apart. God, I have kept this alive all winter. I have watered it so carefully, and it's my own fault. I should have either told my carer or watered it myself, and it would still be okay. But what can you do? These things happen. So I don't know if I'll be replacing it. It's the second one that I've killed, and I haven't even bought any succulents this year because I haven't really had an opportunity to spend some time outdoors and see how my succulents are doing, because some did not like the cold and I think I might have lost a few. Once I do get to spend some time outside and am able to see what has done well and what hasn't, I might then end up buying some more succulents. I don't know. And if I do, then I might get the Spiderwhite again. I know that you can propagate the leaves, but I think I didn't realize it had rotted until it was time to water it again. So I don't know if any of the leaves are salvageable. I guess we'll see. So other than that, I really haven't had any other issues. The plants have been very happy. I did make a peperomia bowl. I was determined to put all these little shits into the one bowl because they are struggling. Not all, but some were really struggling, and I was just getting so tired of having 1,000,001 little pots. I'm hoping by putting them in a bigger bowl and watering it very sparingly that they might do better. I'm hoping. I guess we will see. But I like the idea that now instead of 5 pots, for example, I have one larger one that is going to need a lot less watering. Yeah, I am very focused on reducing the amount of pots I have. Not because I'm buying more plants, but because I'm just getting tired of having to water the little pots all the time. All right, now let's move on to plants that are doing really well. And today it is going to be a Calathea day. Yeah, I'm going to show you 3 Calatheas, or I should say Maranticei plants, because some of them may be Japersia. I can never remember which ones have had their names changed, so I will put all the names on the screen. Let's start with my Calathea makoyana. This plant is amazing. She sits in my living room throughout winter. She gets only a tiny, tiny little bit of browning, but she does not mind this position. She does not mind the dry air. She is gorgeous, and she has put out so much growth that she is looking really bushy right now. When you look down on her, she just looks so lush and gorgeous. She is definitely one of my favorite Calatheas because she's so easy too. And if you do have one and you're struggling, don't listen to people who say they like to remain moist. She does not. She likes to get watered when she is almost dry. Not completely dry, but almost dry. I use a moisture meter, and she has to be under 3 before I water her. And that has kept her alive for now, I think 2 years. But she's stunning, isn't she? I think so anyway. Number 2 is my Calathea Beauty Star. This has always been an easy plant for me, and then she got pests, and I sprayed her with white oil, and she hated that. Yeah, she did not like that at all. I think I sprayed her 18 months ago or close to that, and last spring and summer she didn't grow at all. She lived, but that was all. This spring, however, she has taken off. The browning leaves are her very old ones that did not like being sprayed, but look at all this new growth. Yeah, she's finally bounced back and she is looking beautiful. She has gorgeous markings on her leaves, and the back has that beautiful purple color as well. I'm really hoping she'll put a lot of growth this spring and summer and get nice and full, back to where she was. She's close though, but yeah, I'm very happy that she has recovered. And the final one I want to talk about is my rattlesnake Calathea, or Calathea lancifolia. I love the markings on this, I really do. They do look like rattlesnakes if you ask me. She is my second rattlesnake. My first did not do well and it eventually died. But this one survived winter, no problems, and is doing great. In fact, I just noticed the other day, she's putting out really long leaves. She might actually need a repot. I've got her in my spare room, so I don't get to see her all the time, and I'm thinking I might move her so I can enjoy her more. But she's next to my east-facing window, very close, not even half a meter back from the window, which does have a curtain, and she has been thriving, just killing her. She did not mind the lower humidity there, and as far as I'm concerned, she has proved very easy, which is what I had heard, but that didn't prove the case with my first one. Nevertheless, this one is a very happy plant and I just adore her. You know, they really are underrated, the Calathea plants or Maranticei family. So many people call them divas. I don't find them to be. Some, yes, are harder than others. Calathea Freddy, I'm talking about you, but most of them are really easy, I find. I do wonder if a part of it is because we have very pure water in Melbourne, so I just use plain tap water for them and they don't mind that. Perhaps, or perhaps it is simply our climate, I don't know. But they are definitely some of my favourite plants because their leaves are just incredible. Every time I look at a Calathea or a Maranticei plant, I can't get over how nature has created something so amazing. Anyway, that's all I have for you guys today. I think this might be a little bit shorter video than usual because there really wasn't all that much to tell you. And now, of course, I want to hear what you guys got up to in October. How are your plants doing? What books have you read? Have you done anything really interesting? You know I always love to hear, and you can let me know down in the comments, or you can contact me on Instagram. Thank you all very much for watching. I really do appreciate all of you. You are the reason I make these videos, for all these wonderful people that I have met through them. So thank you. And as usual, you can like, comment and subscribe if you haven't already, as it does help my channel to grow. I hope you all have a beautiful day, and I will see you next time. Bye. My babies. Inside, because, can you see? It's wet outside. Yet again. They haven't moved all day. I can't blame them, but they're just too cute. I had to share.